Hey everyone, I'm here to talk about how to wire our motors onto our Barnabas Racer. And I have here a racer with my wires already attached to the noggin. So it turns out there's two separate ways to wire up the motors. First of all is this way, where I have the motor wires attached directly to some of these 2x3 pin headers. So you can see this one right here that's not being used, but this one has both the left and right motor attached to them. And if you look carefully at your Barnabas Noggins, if you have one with you, that those two headers there say Servo 11 and Servo 10. Those are the ones that are in use. And the ones just to the left of it on the screen here say Servo 9 and Servo 3. So that's referring to the pin number that those motors are now attached to. So plugging in your motor wires here is the same as connecting them to pin number 10, and this one to pin number 11. So I'm staying in line with the curriculum where we have the motors on specific pins. So this motor, the left motor for me, is on Servo 10 and the right motor is on Servo 11. And notice also how the colors of the wires are oriented. That is important. So I have the orange on top and the brown on the bottom. So it's important that the signal wire, the orange wire, is actually going to the correct pin header. So make sure that you have them, if you're going to do it this way, have the colors oriented in the same way I do. Now, something you may be noticing about this is that our servo wires are a little long and they do get tangled in the wheels from time to time. There is a way to deal with this, and it's pretty simple. So you can tie a really simple little knot. I'm not trying to make a permanent knot that is difficult for me to untie, but just sort of a loose little knot like this, and that greatly decreases the length of the wire. So now there's really no chance that that wire is getting caught into the wheel there. So I can do the same for the other wire as well. And then lastly, what I should note about wiring our motors out this way is that on this particular revision of the noggin, I believe this is revision 1C, if you have a Rev C Barnabas noggin, this is something you're going to have to worry about. I assume that our next Rev D or Rev 2, whatever we end up calling it, will not have this problem. But for our current Rev boards, once again Rev C, the pin headers here do not get power through the USB. So if I connect the USB and I code my my motors to do something, they won't work very well. So I need to make sure that if I'm wiring my motors up in this way, that I always have 9 volts plugged in as I'm trying to move the motors, if I'm trying to test them. So that's the last thing we want to worry about if we do the motors this way.